Okay, good morning and welcome to Just Daf It, the Daf Yomi share given by the one, the only, Vincent Lang. We're doing Yevamos Daf Lamed 39 today. We have an extraordinary share for you today. We're going to be talking about what's preferable. Is the mitzvah of Yibum preferable or the mitzvah of Chalitza preferable? Are you even allowed to do Yibum nowadays? We'll have to discuss that more in the coming Daf tomorrow. Maskana of that Shiloh, but we're going to start talking about today. We're going to be talking about which one has precedence. And with Ben Sion, we're going to be discussing uh, a variant reading of the Gemara, which I don't know. I only read Rashi and the Art Scroll, so I don't know if there's a Rishon which supports what I'm saying, but I hope there is a Rishon that supports what I'm saying because I think it does make a lot of sense. It could be a variant reading of the Gemara about bias or yibum of a katan. Are we talking about a younger brother who's bar mitzvah age, or even a katan who's 9 years and 1 day who's capable of a bia? Could there be a mitzvah yibum even if you're a katan? We'll have to discuss that. Let's get right into it. It's Erev Pesach. People are running around like madmen, crazy, trying to get down their last chametz, trying to get their last donut. I'm Dunkin' Donuts. Let me see what time it is now. It is 11:45. I don't even actually know the last time for eating chametz. I only ate. My house is already kosher Pesach. Anyway, if you can still eat Pesach while you're chametz while you're washing it, make sure to eat it, enjoy it. 7 days out, chametz like fasting. All right, let's go. Unless you have good shmura matzah, like the really good one. All right, the really one that's good and cheap, because matzah, shmura matzah is very cheap. So stack up on the cheap ones. I think they sell them like in Chinatown. I think they sell it for like a pack of shots or for like $1 for like a pound of matzahs. You have to go to Meir Sharim. I think $2 you can get a kilo. I'm joking. All right, it's very expensive, this shmura matzah. These people are making a fortune off of crackers. Can you believe it? They're selling crackers a pound for $40. Imagine you would put in a supermarket. You put a package of crackers that weigh a pound. You'd sell them for $40. No, it would never sell for 100 years, even with the crazy inflation. Even if the inflation went up 100%, no one would buy it. 200%, no one would buy crackers. A pound of crackers for $40. I don't know, maybe it costs a couple dollars. Crazy stuff. Now they charge for crackers this much money. Unbelievable. All right, let's get into it. The bottom of Lamed Chemed Bey is 2 lines from the bottom. Abaye Amar. We're trying to figure out to resolve the stira in Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai, the previous Mishnah says that if she sells her property when the shomeres yavam, she's waiting for the yibum. It hasn't happened yet. She inherits properties from her father. Father passed away, let's say, and she inherits properties. She gets a matana from her father, so she would want to sell it. So if she sells it, it's a good sale. But the Seifa says that if she dies, then they split it. Yorshei ha'av and Yorshei ha'bal. The yavam, the person who is set to do yibum, and her heirs, whoever they are, they split evenly. Why? Why is there discrepancy? She's still the same shomeres yavam. Abaye Amar Reisha Denafalak she shomeres yavam. Reisha is talking about when she like we thought, the inheritance falls to her while she's waiting yibum. Seifa Denafalak she tacht of the Baal. Seifa talking about where it actually fell to her before her first husband died, when she was originally married to her first husband. Kasavar, the top of Lamed Teram and Aleph, Kasavar Abaye Yado Kiyado. Abaye holds, at least Beis Hillel, he holds that Yado Kiyado, while they're still married, well, in regards to Nichse Malug, right, which the Baal is Ochel Peros, so therefore the karka belongs to the woman, the Baal Ochel Peros, when she gets inheritance while she's still married to her first husband, that they have the same power. So therefore, when her husband dies and she goes sort of into her own rishus, so then it goes one notch down, and therefore Beis Hillel and Chazan Mechazkas, and she loses possession of that. But according to Beis Shammai, Abai is saying Yado Kiyad, according to Beis Hillel, Yado Kiyad, he would say that Yado is Adifa Miyada, that his hand, the husband's hand, is greater than her hand, so therefore he has control over it while they're married. After he dies, though, it becomes according to Beis Shammai yado ki yada, and therefore they would split it evenly. So that's the difference. Amalei Rava, because the Yavam, even though he didn't do Yibam yet, he's sort of replacing. He's in the makom of his deceased brother. Amalei Rava. Rava says he's not lulak she tacht of the Baal. She falls if she gets inheritance while she's still married to her original husband. Everyone agrees. Even Beis Hillel would agree that Yado, his hand is stronger than her hand. He has a fourth resolution to this problem. Beit Shammai, Yavam. They're both the Rishons they were talking about where she was a Shemeres Yavam. Rishon did Allah Avad ba Maimer. He didn't do Maimer in the first. The Yavam didn't do Maimer. Sefer Avad ba Maimer. He did Maimer. The Kasava Rav Maimer Beit Shammai Osevadai Arusa V'Safik Nesua. Maimer, we said according to Beit Shammai, according to some opinions, Kone Kinyan Gomer. What makes her Avadai Arusa? For what purpose is that? Lischos Basara, that it pushes away Sarah, meaning in one of those cases we're talking about, all those fun cases we're talking about with the two sisters. He's married to one of the sisters. He does Maimer to one sister, and then another sister falls in Yibam. So therefore, the Maimer is considered he's married to one sister. Therefore, the other Sarah, the other sister who falls in Yibam, she's Potter in the Chalitza in Yibam, and she can remarry freely. She's not in the contract of Yibam. That's what makes her arusa. Safik nesua lachlok b'nechasa. It makes her a safik nesua that she splits the nechasa. Therefore, if you didn't do maimer, she has full possession. She could sell it. If she did do maimer, then when their inheritance falls to the shemeres yavam, so then it's evenly split. Itmar mishmei the Rabbi. Itmar mishmei the Rabbi Lazar kavase the Rava. They said Rabbi Lazar paskins like Rava. Itmar mishmei the Rabbi Yosef Chanina kavase the Abai. Yosef Chanina sided with Abai. Me Amar Rabbi Lazar Hach. Rabbi Lazar really sided with Rava. Oh, Rabbi Lazar, he says it only works to push away the Sarah, the sister, but it doesn't work to be Kona to make a suffix Nesua to get a half of the Arusha. The Mars the Ape. I have to switch to Rabbi Lazar really says like Abaye. Rabbi Yosef says like Rabbi. If say alternatively, you don't have to switch on the Lolam stable, you don't have to flip it. Amar Lacha Rabbi Lazar will say to you, Kiamri Ana de Lo Sagila Baget. All I meant to say is that she's not like considered married, that she needs a chalitza. She again is not sufficient. All the boy nami chalitza lechem nechasim the lokani mi amri. Did I say that she's not that he's not kona the nechasim? He is kona hair from the nechasim. Amar of Papa, the yuko the masisin kavasi the abaye. It's meduik in our Mishnah like Abaye's resolution, the machloka of the way of Shitas Beis Shammai. Avagav the kasha mesa. Even though there's a question from the fact that the Seifa it says that she died. Why is she died? The Gazani, what's the proof for Abaye? Chasim nichnasim yos and ima. It says it calls nichnasim belug property that goes in and goes out with her. My nichnas and my yosef. What is it? Why the Mishnah use this language? It goes in and goes out with her. Lam nichnas nishabal v'yotzin rishos habal rishos ha'af. Right, it must be talking about where it fell, where she was married to the guy, nichasin rishos habal to the husband, and then it goes when he dies, when the first husband dies, it goes partially into habal. And the rishos ha'af to half to her heirs. The kasha mesa. What's the question for mesa? Why did the Seifa, the Mishnah, talking about the actual part of the land and after her death? Why did it mention her death? The Peiros talk about while she's living, and in terms of the Peiros, is about the Peiros itself. It is a question from that, like we explained before, that it is a question, why does it talk about after her death? It even talk about her life and talk about the Peiros, and then we'd say, like Beis Shammai says, Yado ki Yada would be equal. Anyway, we don't say that. Sulo Midi, it's no longer a question. It seems plausible that the explanation of the Mishnah is like Abaye. Kanta Arehi. The Mishnah continues, if he marries her, she's like his wife. What does that mean? Tells you two things. One, that if he wants to divorce her, he needs a get and not a chalitza. Machzira, and if he divorces her, he also could remarry her. There's no more Isra Ishazach. Of course he divorces her with a get. It says he takes her as a wife. And then it says V'yibma again. Still, the yibum is attached to her, but chalitza and get low. You have to separate from her with a chalitza, now with a get. Kamash malan, machzira, kamash malan. Therefore, we teach you that only a get. Machzira, he can remarry her. Pshita, obviously. He did the mitzvah of Yom Hasha to take him away Israel Shazak. Now there's only Israel Shazak, right? It's his brother's wife. Kamash malan. We teach not that way. It's true. Why is it Leisha that he Comes his wife Lagamre, it's Paka, it's removed the status of Ishes Ach. Chaldavar. Chaldavar is considered only his wife exclusively, not the wife of his previously deceased brother. Vajde Ksuvasa, the Ksuva remains on the first brother remains liable for Ksuva. My time, he's not responsible for Ksuva because they forced him to get shot. The Torah forced him to get married to her. The Torah gave him a mitzvah to get married to her, so it's not really his choice. So we can't force him to write Ksuva from his own nechasim. He lays them in our rishon, but if the first one doesn't have sufficient funds to promise a ksuva, they made the second husband write a ksuva for her. We're going to see in Ksuva. It's usher to live with a wife without a ksuva because Chazal made it takana for a woman. Otherwise, people will divorce their wives very easily because they don't have to pay the ksuva. The Mishnah says mitzvah gadol yabim. The mitzvah is for the eldest brother. We learned earlier on Daf It, I think. Mitzvah gadol yabin or chavdal. Mitzvah gadol yabin. The mitzvah is the gadol to do yibam. Loratzu mahakan al kol ha'achin. He didn't want to do it. You go to the rest of the brothers. Loratzu, if they didn't want to do it, chozrein the gadol v'amru lo alech mitzvah chalet yibam. They go back to the first one and they force him basically either do chalitz or do yibam. Talab b'katan aji yagdil. The older brother said, no, let's wait till the katan grows up. Katan obviously someone who's not a gadol. He's not chayav the mitzvah of yibam or not. Obegadol. He says, no, there's an older brother than me. He's just overseas on vacation. Wait till he comes back. He'll do yibam. Oh, Cheresh Shota. I would say, no, the brother who's the Cheresh Shota, he should do the mitzvah of yibam. He's the oldest brother. Ain Shulman. We don't listen to them. They say, you're the mitzvah. You don't rely on these other problematic things because we'll see why in the Gemara. Esmar bias cotton chalizas gadol. Say the option, meaning I'm going to give you Rashi's explanation, the Arch's explanation, and then I'll introduce my explanation a little later, and further bring proofs for it in Enoch Ben Sion. If you don't know, it's a separate segment, separate shear, to bolster your knowledge of the daf, enhance it. I'm going to give you a taste of Ian to understand there is depth to the Gemara. Amar bias katan andifa. His conclusion is gadol. Please about Yochanan Yeshua Levi. Yochanan Yeshua Levi have the following machlokes. Amar bias katan andifa. One says the bia of a katan. The bia of a katan, meaning we're not talking. Katan over here doesn't mean someone who's a minor, meaning someone's not of age, not as bar mitzvah. It doesn't mean he's of age. He's just younger than the oldest brother. So the older brother says, I'm only going to do chalitza. And the younger brother says, no, I'm willing to do yibum. Now, why say bias katan? She said yibum katan, right? That's a problem. Why is that? That's one of the problems I have with this. So one of them says bias katan adipa. It's better to let the younger brother do it, even though the mitzvah is begadol. It's better to do yibum because we're going to learn that mitzvah's yibum is called mitzvah's chalitza. It's preferable to yibum than chalitza. One of these rabbanan said that the chalitza of the gadol, let the gadol do chalitza adipa. Manamar bias katan adipa. The hamitzvah be yibum. The mitzvah be yibum. The mitzvah is to do yibum. The bigger mitzvah is to do yibum. Manamar chalitza gadol adipa. B'makom gadol bias katan lav klum. As long as you have a gadol, they're the oldest brother. So the younger brother, it's not a mitzvah at all for him. The mitzvah is on the oldest brother, only if he doesn't want to do it. But if he's willing to do chalitza, let him do a chalitza. His yibum is meaningless in the makom gadol. None. We learned in the Mishnah. Let's try to bring a proof to one side. Lo ratza machzir kol ha'achin. If the oldest brother didn't want to do it, you go to the other brothers. My love, lo ratza liyam l'lacha. It's all you want to do is chalitza. And you go to the other brothers. Shami not bias katan adifas. You see the bia of a younger person, younger brother is better. Lo ratza lachlos lo liyabim. What it means in the Reisha that he didn't want to do chalitza or yim the older brother. Kavas gabe achin lo ratza lachlos lo liyabim. So if that's true, so he didn't by the brothers. They didn't want to do chalitza or yibam. My cholish mitzvah gadol. Lemichviyeh ledidu. Once we're already at them, and the last brother decided he doesn't want to do chalitza or yibam. None of them want to do chalitza or yibam. So we're with the last brother. We just asked him. Let's force him. We'll force him to do yibam or chalitza. The says, "Okay, the mitzvah ledidu rami ledidu kafina." Since the ikar mitzvah is on the gadol, so therefore we start forcing the gadol do chalitza or yibam. None. Try to bring another from the Mishnah. Talab katan ashiyadil. They say they make an excuse. No, let's wait for the minor until he becomes of age. Until bar mitzvah. Ein shulman lo. Now listen to you. It's katan adifa. If the bia of a katan is better, am I in shulman lo? Why don't we wait for him? Nintar dilman gadol miyabim. right? Maybe he'll grow up and he'll do Yibam, and he'll do the mitzvah of Yibam. The Sefer, the mission says, well, or they make an excuse. No, let's wait for the guy who comes back from vacation, comes back from overseas. Ain't Shomalo. We don't listen. You have to do Yibam right away. Maybe he'll come and do Chalitza. And these cases in the Sefer are not proofs because we don't wait to do the mitzvah. The mitzvah is to do it right away. So whoever's available to do it, the Katan not of age yet, or the other brother is in Medina's Hayam. Even if you want to say Chalitza is better, we don't wait. It's possible Chalitza is better. Chalitza's Gadol is better, but we don't wait. You try to do the mitzvah as soon as possible. Shoot mitzvah machine. Why is that different? There's reason my Kimel and mitzvahs. It's a different discussion, not for here. Top of Lamed Teramid Beis. Where is that? Amri Bia Kuli Amalo Pligi Dibias Katan Adiva. A different version of saying this. This Machlokas, Yochanan, Rishon, and Levi is like this. Everyone agrees the Bias Katan Adiva, the Bia of a Katan, younger brother, is better. If you have a younger brother who's willing to do Yibam, you let him do Yibam as opposed to the older brother doing Chalitza. Ki Pligi B'Chalitza's Katan. The argument is about Chalitza's Katan. Hachiyet Mar Chalitza's Katan, Chalitza's Gadol. Pligi Bar Yochanan, Rishon, Levi. Charamar. Chalitza's Gadol Adiva. It's better. If no one wants to do Yibam, it's better that the Gadol should do Chalitza. The Charamar Ki Yadadin. Some say Chalitza is not really a mitzvah, so anyone who wants to do it, anyone who steps first, even if he's a katan, he has the ability to do that first. Ma damar chalitza gadol adifa. One says chalitza gadol is better. The mitzvah gadol, a mitzvah yibam chalitza l'chora is on the gadol. Idach. Other one says the community mitzvah gadol in yibam. Only said about yibam, but in chalitza kahadadi ninu. Regarding chalitza, it's almost like not a mitzvah, so therefore they're equal. It's none. Laratzu. Let's try to bring a proof for our Mishnah. Laratzu chol b'neitzal gadol. They didn't want to do it. You go to the gadol. Meaning they went through all the brothers, they want to do Yibam Chalitza, you go back to the Gadol. My love, Lo Ratzu Li'amel Alachos. The Gemara again assumes we're talking about all the brothers didn't want to do Yibam, they wanted to do Chalitza. See that we go back to the Gadol, the Chalitza of the Gadol is better. Where it says Lo Ratzu, Lo Lachos Li'abim, the Mishnah is talking about they didn't want to do anything. Kavase Gabi Gadol, Lo Ratzu, Lo Lachos Li'abim. It must be everyone holds, even by the gadol. He didn't want to do chalitza or yibam. Why do you go to the gadol? We're talking about we're dealing now with the younger kids. Let's force them. No one wanted to do it. The youngers will force them. Kevan the mitzvah ramya kaifin. So the mitzvah is on the gadol at least to do yibam. So therefore, we're called for him either do yibam or chalitza. Tashma. Another proof of our Mishnah. Huh?
You're giving shir here, huh?
Are you giving a shir now?
I hope so.
What time?
12.
12? All right. I'll be finishing like I don't know 5 minutes. It's the other Maggid share here. All right. Tashma Talab Gadol Shiav Medina Sayam. He relied on the Gadol until he comes from Medina Sayam. He said he's going to do it. Come back from where in Shomalo. You don't listen to him. You do it right away. If it's preferable the chalitza of an older brother, on my ain't Shomalo, why don't we listen to him? Maybe he'll come and do chalitza, and the chalitza of the gadol is better. Whereas according to your reasoning, the minor until he becomes older ain't Shomalo. Obviously, the mitzvah of yibum is better. Why don't we wait till he comes and does yibum? No one else is willing to do yibum. He can't bring a proof from there. We don't wait to do mitzvahs. Tan hasam. We learned over there in Mishnah Bechoros, mitzvah yibam kodemas mitzvah chalitza. Preferable to do the mitzvah of yibam over the mitzvah of chalitza. Rishon Hashem kam l'shem mitzvah. Originally, in olden times, they used to have kavanah to do the shem mitzvahs yibam. Achshav, that was mitzvahs yibam is first. Achshav kam l'shem mitzvah. Now people are doing it for other motives. They want to enjoy the other wife, have a second wife to enjoy. Amruk mitzvah chalitza kodemas yibam. It's better to do chalitza than yibam. Amarav ain't kohen. Rav says we don't force. So we'll explain Rashi's explanation over here. In Kofin means, even though technically we're supposed to do chalitza, if a person wants to do yibam, we don't force him to do chalitza, you can do yibam. The Rav, when they came in front of Rav, if you want to do chalitza, you do chalitza. If you want to do yibam, you can do yibam. The Torah gave it in your choice. If a person doesn't want to do yibam, if he does want to choose to do yibam, he's allowed to do yibam. Maybe the time offers different explanations. It's a little difficult with the lashon of the Gemara over here. Maybe we'll get it tomorrow. However, Yehuda Savar Ain't kofin. Even Rabbi Yehuda holds we don't kofin. We're not kofin a person not to do chalitza. They could even do yibum. You want me to ask Rabbi Yehuda Begita, chalitza when he wrote when he did chalitza, they wrote a special document. So what would you write in the document? Ech plonis bas ploni, the daughter of a son of a man. Akravas yas ploni yavama kadmana. She brought the yavam in front of us, the beidin and beidin. Ashmadinu the achva the mista ma'aba and we found out. We made it clear. It was clear to us. He was his paternal brother. Amrillah isabis liyabim yabim. And she said to him, if you want to do yibum, raglach, and if not, stick out your leg, the yamina, your right leg, v'itala ragla. He stuck out his right leg, the yamina. V'shara sine shemal raglo. She took off his shoe from his foot, v'yarak man poi, and she spit in front of us. Rokan miskazi lebedina alara, amount of spit that's discernible to the basin on the ground. Rabbi Chia or obvious. You see from there, from the lashon he used in this document. He sabis the yabim vilo. If you want to do yibum, so you could do yibum. Rabbi Chia bar Avim signed by Mishmei Rabbi Yehuda v'akrinu ma'dichsiva sefer arayis. He would finish off. Rabbi Yehuda would also write. We also read to them the psukim. You have to say the psukim. It says in the Torah. What about chalitza and the Moshe asked Modinu? So it says in this document it was made known to us. Pligi bar Ravacha Ravina that he was the paternal brother, the Yavam. Pligi bar Ravacha Ravina Chanamar be'edim. Some say you have to bring 2 kosher edim to tell me he was the paternal brother. Chanamar afilu karo afilu isha. Some say one says even we believe even a karov, even a relative or even a woman. The halacha is it's just a matter of figuring it out. So we can believe even a karov or an isha who normally pasal edus. Originally, Yibum preceded the mitzvah of chalitza. Now, people want to write kavana, so we tell people first do chalitza before Yibum. They went back and they retract that, and they said in later generations that Yibum is preferable to chalitza. Did the generations get better? Generations get worse. Their kavanas get worse. So the Gemara says, Mikara Sarvi like Abba Shal. Originally, the Rabbanan held like Abba Shal, that really Mrs. Chalitza is better than Yibum. So Sarvi like a Rabbanan. And then they went back and Chozer and said like Rabbanan and the mitzvah Yibum is preferable. Lasanya Abba Shal Omer Akonis Yivimto L'Shem Noi L'Shem Ishus. Someone who marries his Yevama, he does it because she's beautiful or just to get another wife.
All right, so we're at the for
any other reason, it's like he violates arayis. It's like the vlad is a mamzer because he's violating Eishes Tachas, no mitzvah evil. Even if he doesn't have the right kavana, there's a mitzvah of yibum. Sorry for the background noise, we're just finishing. There's a mitzvah of yibum nonetheless, even though it's not right kavana, and therefore it's no Eishes Tachas. Hope you have a good day. See you when you see you.